Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to be looking at curl. Curl is a useful utility for creating network requests, primarily for transferring data from between the server and the client. It's one of the quickest way to generate a HTTP request or FTP request or whatever network protocol you're using from your local shell to a remote system. So there are many use cases for this. So let's get straight to it and look at possibly five or top five, maybe top five use cases for curl. And so without waiting, let's have a look at what we have. So as usual, we always start with the man page. We do this in real time just to see what's available to us. Man, curl. Good. So curl, transfer a URL. That doesn't say much, but in general, you can see in the description, the curl is a tool for transferring data from a server using URLs. So you can effectively communicate with a server using all these protocol, dict, file, FTP transfer, very old protocol like Gopher, HTTP, HTTPS is possibly the most common thing you'll use it for. You can craft requests for IMAP, which is not HTML, email protocol, Telnet. You can see the list. You can just about create a request to any one of these protocols. So if you want to look into any additional protocol other than the ones I look into with you, I'll demonstrate to you, you're free to jump along, have a look through the documentation. It's quite useful. You also get quite a few working examples that you can use to test out various things. So let's look at the first and simple. Let's first go back to the let's look at that. So if we go down, trying to get to output, you can control the output, the protocols. Yeah, there's a specific syntax. So just to start, you'd start with curl command as usual, and the options followed by the URL. In some cases, without the options, if you should say look at curl and go to something like http example.com. Quickly see what happened. You just went out, hit the URL, and just grab a copy of that page and output the result from that here. However, if you wanted this page downloaded, so this is a really quick way to scrape a website per se. That's a gray area. Some website have got copyright materials, so scraping website can be can require permission from the content producers. But overall, it's a quick way for your home website, or if you have a page that maybe you're unable to access, you just want to test if the page, if you can reach the page from within the terminal. Because seeing that if you're in the shell, you might want to just test the existence of a web page. And in this example, you can see I'm looking at the content of the page. And for whatever reason, if you wanted to maybe download the copy of that page, if I go maybe there, we can go with, we can give it a name, say HTML. Yes, so that should be outputted. So what I've done, I've given a flag for output. What that will do, it will download the page and it will also save it to a new file. Let's see if that file is there, and you can see the file is there. And if you should take some kind of editor, maybe let's try to open that. You can see that's formatted nicely, and you can also see the color coding if you're configured to display that. And that's the web page. If you should look at this in the browser, this is what you would see. So curl is very useful for quickly grabbing the content of a web page, image, anything at all. It'll grab any item, any, even binaries, any object across the network. What else can I demonstrate? One of the quick use cases is, for example, I use curl all the time to grab JSON. I've got something in my history. So if I go here, you can see this is still using sort of a placeholder JSON, and from here you hit, you can see the JSON response to that. That JSON is just, if you're familiar with JavaScript notation, this is just a JavaScript object, and for whatever reason your application could consume this data, or you could actually use this data for just testing what's going on with that server, if it's responding in the way you expect. So overall, and there are lots of tons and tons of options you can pass to curl, but this should give you a quick introduction to how to use curl and what is it for. Primarily for making network requests, and similar to how I've done HTTP requests and so forth, you can do this for just about any protocol. You just need to figure out exactly what is required by that protocol. And if you jump back into the man page, you'll find tons of help here looking at specific things. If you wanted to make a request to passing variables, writing, place all the variables, controlling the output format, and down to the protocols that we support. Quite a few protocols here, possibly all of the known ones, all of the widespread standard protocols can be accessed using curl. So progress meter, you can also have a progress meter just to see, because network traffic, bear in mind you're transferring packets between systems, it's also good to get that output incrementally, percentile. You can see your percentile value of how your downloading or uploading is getting on. So you can also do that there. Additional options, so many options. Curl, as you can see, the man page for curl is quite extensive. You would benefit greatly just understanding what's in this man page. And if you, for whatever reason, if you should have the time to go through this man page, give it a light read, what you'll find, you will also inadvertently learn so much about network trafficking, not trafficking, but network traffic in general, protocols and packets. Most of this man page will give you lots of clues to possibly things that you didn't know existed, ways in which you could do things that you didn't know previously. So it's always good to consult the man page. It's free. It's on every system. Let's see if we can do something else. For example, one of the things that you'll do with curl also. So we've looked at hitting a web page and getting the content of that web page. We've also looked at grabbing some JSON document. You can also do something else, and you can do this in one shot. So we go curl. So in this case, we are going back to the previous request. Let's change it a bit. So in this case, I'm going to use a capital O, and I'll tell you what that's for in a minute. So we maintain the same example URL. This is a good for testing. And on that URL, I'm aware that there is a zip file for testing. Now, by using a capital O, this curl will download the file and retaining the original name of the file. So it's just outputting the document straight to the disk. Let's see that in action. Good, you can see the size, upload, download speed, and if this took much longer, you would also see a progress report coming through here. how many packets have received, and so forth. Now you can see the file, zip file, and you have a zip file. That zip file could contain just about anything, it could be any size, and the download time would be relative to how large that file is. I think that gives you more or less good overview of how to use curl. With practice and investigation, you will cover lots more within the man page. Thank you for watching. Hope you find that useful, and catch me in the next one where I look at additional tools. Thanks.